Do you know there's a country with a per capita income of just $274, making it the poorest even by African standards? That country is Burundi. Surprisingly, right next door is Rwanda with a contrasting economic story. So why is Burundi so impoverished while its neighbor thrives? Stick around to find out. 1. A tale of two cousins. Burundi and Rwanda, situated side by side, share more than just a border. These nations, originally part of the same Belgian colony, experienced similar historical trajectories, only to diverge significantly in their post-colonial journeys. While the shadows of their colonial pasts linger, the economic landscapes of these two nations couldn't be more different today. Bujumbura, the capital of Burundi, is marked by scenes of desolation and underdevelopment, a stark contrast to the bustling city of Kigali in Rwanda, brimming with modern infrastructure and a sense of progress. The disparities between the two are not mere coincidences, but the outcomes of divergent political paths and leadership decisions. These differences are glaring, illustrating a tale of two cousins who, despite their familial bonds and shared histories, have walked down markedly different paths. One, mired in poverty and political turmoil, struggles to find its footing, while the other, despite its challenges, seems to stride confidently towards a brighter future. This divergence raises questions about the impact of governance, policy, and international relations on a nation's developmental trajectory. 2. The Forgotten War. The ethnic divisions and tensions that plague Burundi and Rwanda can be traced back to their shared colonial histories. Belgian colonists, in their quest for control, manipulated existing social structures and created artificial divisions between the Hutus and the Tutsis in the Rwanda-Urundi territory. These imposed classifications have had long-lasting and devastating impacts, embedding deep-rooted animosities within the societies. The newfound independence in 1962 brought joy, but also uncaged the pent-up tensions, transforming them into horrifying genocides and civil unrest. In Burundi, the struggle for power and representation resulted in a protracted civil war that didn't cease until 2003. Leaving the country in shambles, grappling with the aftermath of years of conflict and violence. While the tumultuous pasts are common threads between Burundi and Rwanda, their approaches to reconciliation and nation-building have varied. Rwanda, although still grappling with the shadows of its past, has managed to make considerable strides in fostering unity and national development. This section delves deeper into how the echoes of a forgotten war continue to reverberate in the present, shaping the destinies of these two nations in contrasting ways. 3. A country without motorcycles. Burundi, under the iron fist of Pierre Nkurunziza, holds a history stained with relentless repression and human rights violations, its growth severely stifled. In a surprising move, motorcycles, a common means of transport, are banned, allegedly to curb conspiracies. This ban shadows the underlying issues that plague the nation, like a pervasive lack of democratic freedoms and economic stagnation. Nkurunziza's authoritarian regime saw him self-appoint as the eternal supreme guide, causing a surge in protests and resultant brutal repressions. The nation experienced a mass exodus, with over 400,000 refugees fleeing the tormenting conditions. With the international community's focus elsewhere, Burundi's turmoil went largely unnoticed, its citizens entrapped in a cycle of despair and poverty. The nation, trapped in its economic woes, struggles to export, and the attractiveness for foreign investment is nearly non-existent. The hurdles are immense: border bureaucracy, a lack of legal security, and rampant corruption. The cost of transporting goods is astronomically high due to numerous checkpoints, each demanding a bite. The despair is magnified by Burundi's increasing population density, the highest in Africa, and a GDP per capita that is the world's lowest, leaving its citizens in a continuous battle against escalating poverty. 4. The African Singapore. Meanwhile, Rwanda has penned a contrasting narrative, one marked by economic resurgence and relative political stability under the stewardship of Paul Kagame. This nation, despite its scarred past, has taken strides to model its governance on Singapore's economic-focused approach. While the shadows of human rights violations linger, Rwanda has placed a pronounced emphasis on economic rejuvenation and stability, attracting a myriad of businesses and tourists. Kagame's government, although repressive, has managed to strike a balance, providing security and fostering an environment conducive to growth. Kigali today stands as a beacon of safety in sub-Saharan Africa, its streets whispering tales of transformation and hope. The world has noticed, with international hotel chains setting up shop and tourism graphs displaying an upward trajectory. Rwanda's focus on becoming a business-friendly hub has paid dividends, with the ease of doing business ranking reflecting its commitment to fostering an environment ripe for investment. It's not just tourism that's thriving. The nation has witnessed the emergence of technology companies and large-scale breweries, underscoring its economic metamorphosis. While skepticism surrounds the accuracy of Rwanda's statistics and challenges in foreign investment persist, the nation's commitment to economic evolution is undeniable, offering a glimmer of hope in a region often overshadowed by despair. 5. Politics matters. In a world where nations share borders and histories, the paths they choose can lead them to significantly different futures. This is vividly exemplified by the divergent trajectories of Burundi and Rwanda. While they share similar pasts and populations, their political decisions have shaped their destinies in contrasting ways. Burundi, under the oppressive regime of Pierre Nkurunziza, plunged into a vortex of authoritarianism and economic decline. The echo of political instability reverberated through its economic corridors, stifling growth and development. The nation, shrouded in the shadows of its tumultuous politics, struggled to find its footing on the global stage. Meanwhile, Rwanda, steering its ship under Paul Kagame's vision, embraced economic rejuvenation and stability. Kagame's approach, though not impeccable, especially regarding human rights, focused on fostering an environment conducive to growth and development. The country, emerging from the remnants of its tragic past, sculpted a narrative of economic revival and became a beacon of progress in the region. This divergence underlines the profound impact of political choices on a country's fate. Rwanda's relative success stems from prioritizing national stability and economic progression. Conversely, Burundi's turbulent political climate sowed the seeds of its economic stagnation. The essence of these two narratives isn't just in their contrast, but in the understanding that the political canvas on which a nation paints its strategies and ideologies can be the brushstroke that defines its prosperity or its downfall. It's a reflection of how the essence of governance can mold the destinies of seemingly similar nations into tales of disparity. 6. The road ahead. As we ponder over the distinct paths Rwanda and Burundi have treaded, the question arises: what lies ahead for these two nations with shared yet splintered histories? Rwanda, referred to as the African Singapore, is a beacon of economic progress in the region. Its emphasis on stability, good governance, and economic reforms has played a pivotal role in its upward trajectory. But can the essence of democracy blend with its current state of economic prosperity? The path is laden with hurdles, but the pursuit of a harmonious blend of democratic values and economic progress remains a goal within reach. Meanwhile, for Burundi, the road ahead seems steep, with shadows of political turmoil and economic stagnation looming large. But it's crucial for Burundi to peer through its neighbor's journey and pick lessons from Rwanda's focus on stability and governance. Learning and adapting can pave the way for Burundi to inch toward a future where the citizens don't just survive, they thrive. The contrasting tales of these two nations underline the profound impact of political decisions and governance models on a country's fate. Rwanda has shown us that with steady governance and a focus on economic growth, transforming a nation's story is possible. And for Burundi, the possibility of rewriting its narrative exists if it chooses to embrace reform, learn from its cousin, and places its people and their prosperity at the forefront of its journey forward. As we've seen, political choices can make or break a nation's economic future. Burundi and Rwanda are clear examples of this. What's your take on their contrasting stories? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, do give us a thumbs up. And for more in-depth analysis on global issues, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.